A real honor to have Hall of Famer and pool legend Johnny the Scorpion Archer. Johnny, thanks for coming in. This is great to have you here.
Not a problem.
What you been up to lately? I think you went to you were coaching the youth team at the Atlantic Challenge, right? How did that go?
We didn't do too well, but it was a good experience for everyone. I really enjoyed it and learned some things myself, and the kids, I hope they had a good experience. I think they did.
When you were coming up in pool, did you have anything like that?
Never did. I wish I did. I do miss it. No, they didn't have these things back then. They had the junior nationals. I don't even know if they were really having it back then either. So yeah, the juniors, you didn't never know of any of them.
Give me an idea of what it was like back when you were first getting into the game. What was the sort of thing that sort of spurred you on to become such a great player that you ended up becoming?
Well, I tell you what really got me interested in doing it for a living is I watched Earl play. I think it was 85 or 86 maybe or something like that. He played Mizrak in Caesar's Palace, and he made a jump shot, first time that I'd ever heard of one, and he made it for the full cue. He didn't have to get over much of the ball, but he made it, and the crowd just erupted, and they were on ESPN, and I was like, man, I really like that. That really something I want to do, and that kind of motivated me for a good while there.
A lot of guys who came up in pool, even today, start out on the money circuit, going out and on the road and earning money, and then they make that transition to the tournament play. How did it work for you?
I did the same thing. I started out, of course, like any of I started out gambling a lot. I really enjoyed that. I miss it. I do miss it, going around and kind of trying to all kind of get together and see who can come out on top. But I came to a crossroad for probably, I would say, mid to late 80s. I come to a crossroad, and I had decided, okay, am I going to gamble, go around and gamble, or do I want to do this for a living and play for the prize money and the trophies and tournaments? And I decided at that moment that that's the way I wanted to go. And I enjoyed winning a tournament as opposed to winning money.
And what was your first breakout success in pool?
Well, I played my first pro tournament when I was 17 in Columbia, South Carolina. And I got to I played some pretty good names in that tournament. I drew Jimmy Mattia, and I won. Drew Bobby Hunter, and I won. I drew Mizrak, and Mizrak beat me heel. And I drew Efren, the first one, and I won the lag and run 5 racks on Efren at 17. And of course, then he proceeded to run 7 back and beat me 11-7. But that was my kind of my breakout, and I came in full force after that. Just started going to as many tournaments as I can. I was probably annoying to all the top guys back then, Nick and Buddy and Siegel, Rimpey. I can go on and on back then, and I was annoying because I was there watching their matches. I would cozy up to them, and I know I was like a little pest, but I went and bought all the VHS. Back then it was VHS.
Yeah. So
I went and bought all the VHS. AccuStats saved me. AccuStats was I just went and got all the matches I could, and I studied them. I watched them. I watched I watched all the way they played, the patterns they play. I watched their mannerisms. I just watched. I really was.
Who'd you like the most? Who'd you learn the most from?
Well, I probably picked up something good from everybody. So to say, that who'd I learn the most from, it's hard to say, really. But my favorite player that I think was the best player, that of course to me is the best player I ever played, and that was Buddy Hall. Buddy was the best player I ever played, and I really loved watching him play. He just played a style of game. Because I was always one to, I knew that I didn't have the most talent, Okay, and I knew I didn't have the biggest break or the most talent or the best shot maker, but I had a little bit of everything if I could work on it. And I really tried to watch players like Buddy, because I really, as opposed to learning how to play, I was really keen on learning how to win. That was one of my really, that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, a lot of great players out there, isn't there? But not everybody knows how to close the deal.
That's right, and it's just I didn't want to be a one-shot player where I had to play on bigger pockets to win, or I didn't want to play. Okay, well I need to be able to make the corner ball and just break hard and win that way. I wanted to watch players that could win under all conditions: tight pockets, big pockets, a slow match, a fast match, a safety match, a shot-making match. I wanted to watch, and to me, Buddy Hall was the one to watch to do that.
Well, you've seen and done it all now. I mean, countless Moscone Cups and World Championships. Give us some of the highlights of your career that really stand out now.
Probably the most, as playing, it would have to be, well, the one that I can remember was when I won the first World Championship back in '92. But probably Moscone Cups, probably the most satisfying, the most exciting wins, because I got to win with teams, and I got to win with my heroes. I got to play with all my heroes, and them to look at me and really love me winning, and I was one of the crowd. I got to be one of the guys.
Yeah.
I was a generation or a step younger than them guys, but it was just I don't know. You can't explain it. I get to play with them guys, and they counted on me just like I counted on them. And it was just I was nervous as I could be, and I was scared. It was, oh my God, I can't let these legends down. Oh man. But then as I got used to playing, with them and alongside of them, then I really got to see how they were.
Yeah, wow.
Because I got to watch them in the practice room. I got to watch them. Now they were really trying to help me. Hey, let's work on your break, or let's work on, this shot, because they were counting on me. So they needed me to play well in order to win. And these guys wanted to win, because back then, there wasn't no prize money. We collected a check to go, but everybody got the same, Team America and Europe.
You're right. And Moscone Cup, yeah.
Moscone Cup, that's right. So
yeah.
So back then it was so neat, because these guys it wasn't about the money. Now, don't get me wrong, we liked the money.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't about the money. It was all about passion and winning as a team, because even though these guys knew each other and they were all pretty good friends, but all year we played against each other. So at any given time, you're kind of pulling against a guy, definitely pulling against him if you're playing against him. So now all of a sudden you're playing with them, and you're really wanting them. Really, I felt that I knew they wanted me to play well.
Yeah.
And they felt it. It wasn't like it was kind of fake. It wouldn't have, okay,
yeah.
No, I pull for you when you play, and, shake your head when you go.
Yeah.
These guys didn't do that. It was great.
What is the if you could give any advice to young players today? And I know you, like you said, you were just captaining the Atlantic Cup Challenge team for Team USA, and these are 19 and under. So,
sure.
What advice would you give to young players to not only succeed, but to get that longevity in the sport that you've had? Well,
if I had to kind of pick something from the work on to be able to be consistent, is they have to figure out a way to only concentrate on the shot they're shooting. Don't worry about the position. Don't worry about other balls. Don't worry about the match score. Don't worry about the circumstances. If they can figure out somehow how to channel that into...
But is a position...
It's part of the...
That's the most important, other than the potting.
Absolutely, you're right. But here's the thing. Position play is feel. It's not technical. Potting the ball is technical. That's aiming and hitting the cue ball. Position play is all by feel, because how many times you hear guys, man, I hit it too hard. That's a feel shot. I hit it too soft. I didn't put enough English on the ball. That's a feel shot. So that comes from here. The feeling comes from here. Whereas the potting is so technical, it's right in front of you. So if you can figure all the circumstances out, whether you're playing position here, whether you're playing safe over there, what are you leaving the object ball, whatever you're deciding to do, once you figure all that out and you're comfortable with it, now you 100% concentrate on making the ball. Everything else comes after that.
So let's talk about the sport of pool itself. Obviously, I mean, when you were coming up, the pro game was really strong financially and everything, and it's really been had its ups and downs, and probably more downs than up. And then, especially with the financial crisis in 2008, it's really hurt the sport.
Sure.
What do you think pool needs more of and to do to rise above the sort of morass that it seems to be in?
My opinion, what pool is lacking, and I've seen it tried a few times with certain things, is excitement. Okay, it's really, if you look at it, it's just not that exciting to an everyday person. Okay, just somebody coming in and maybe not knowing a whole lot about pool. When they see a pool match, it's just not that exciting. That's why I was so happy with Moscone Cup, the World Cup of Pool, when there's fans involved, it's fast, you got to make quick decisions. It's kind of, I was really keen on bonus ball. I was really sticking by them because I like the excitement of it. I thought that we can bring fans that way, and then they had other ideas with the teams and stuff like that. So to me, if we can figure out how to, because everybody in the mainstream knows pool. There's not many people in the world that's never at least played a game of pool.
You're right.
Okay, so they can relate that way. But to them, it's just them going out playing. They beating the balls around, because for an everyday person, pool is very difficult. I'm talking about it's almost impossible for just an everyday person to play well. So to me, I don't really know what do you think about what Darren's, sort of mapped out here? Darren Appleton founded the tour, trying to create this sort of like player-centric tour with tour cards and the whole concept of various playing dates and different tournaments, adding up points and getting your card and to qualify for next year. And for sure, he's
all the media and partnering with social media and all that. What do you think of that?
I think it's a great idea. I think what he's doing is very difficult. Okay, and he's kind of biting the bullet and getting it done. So what he's doing is takes so much work and so much stress and so many other people involved, like yourself doing here, as everybody is trying to do their own little thing to help. So, and he's going to need more, and it's easy to get players. It's like anything. It's what we do for a living. So, you have a paycheck. We're gonna come and work.
Just have to hope that the sponsors come in and.
Sure.
Yeah. What about you? What's the future hold for Johnny Archer?
Well, you
got your pool room and down in Marietta, right?
Yes,
Marietta, Georgia.
Yes.
How's that going?
Better. We had since 2008. We had a couple rough years, but I've got a new partner now, and he has been a dream for me. Him and I work good together, and we're both goofballs. So it's perfect. And anyway, I'm excited about the next 10 years in the pool room. I'm excited about that. Myself, I don't play as much, that's for sure. But I still have the drive. I still want to win. And so with my new partner, I'm going to get to play a little more now, because I know he's there watching things like I would.
Right.
So I'm going to get to play a little more, but it's you got a family. It's tough when you got a wife and 2 kids, and it's just not easy. But
that's right.
I probably have lost a little bit of drive. Okay, from being older, from with the pool room now, and now I'm making money other places. So I don't have to really go that route all the time.
Right.
But I still do have sponsors, and I still do want to play, and I can play. But I mean, now it's going to take me working on myself. Over the changes. I'm almost 50, so I still, I still know I can probably play another, if I'm healthy, another 10 years. I know I could.
Well, now you got other young kids cozying up to you, just like you used to cozy up to the
right.
Buddy Halls and the Mizrax
right.
and right. I mean,
that's right. And when they ask
you,
me,
you love it too. I know you love mentoring the young people.
We've got some. The one thing about the kids that I'm working with, they are pure at heart. And that's the one thing that I see, and that probably keeps me really involved with them and coming back and really wanting to see them, because I see before the world gets a hold of them, right now they're pure at heart, and they're doing it for the love.
Makes you feel good about it. Keeps your fire and enthusiasm
Absolutely,
for the game alive by being around the young people.
Absolutely does. They keep me a little younger, and I can see excitement, which I've seen some of the guys, and the tour has lost that.
Yeah, well, pool can beat you down, can it?
It can.
This world can beat you down. It's a rough one.
It's a tough one.
It is.
It is.
It's a rough one.
But I tell you what, I wouldn't. If I had to, a lot of people has asked me, what would you change, over the time? And I said, if I look back at it, probably nothing. And they said, well, it couldn't have been that good. I said, oh, no, that ain't what I mean. I said, but I had to go through tough times, okay, to get to the good times. And I said, if I had changed, of course, everybody wants to look back and say, well, I will change the tough times. Well, then you might not get to the good times. And the good times, I may have one good time and 50 tough times, but the good time always outweighs it. And this sport, I owe so much to this sport. I could be out here every day the rest of my life and not pay back what it's paid me, and not so much financial altogether, but it's just I met so many great people. I still now, Nick Varner comes around. There's a guy there. It's like we never stop talking.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, man, this is cool. This is actually cool thing.
Great. You still got
it's really nice. And
right.
I love coming around. I know I'm not winning and all that right now, but I know I'm gonna have to get my health a little bit better. Lose a little weight. Get out there a little more active, but because I could still play, it's just gonna take a little work now. Which I never was keen on work.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Well, great. I mean, I'm sure we're going to see you back here at the Whirlpool Series. So, hey, Johnny Archer, thanks very much for coming in. Really, really good insight.
Not a problem.
Johnny Archer, Hall of Famer, legend of pool, here at the Whirlpool Series.
Thank you very much.